You are listening to the Manor Theatre Group Radio. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Dad's Family Platoon was put in charge of a starship? Well, you can find out in our next programme, where our uniformed heroes search for the source of a faint distress beacon in a faraway solar system. So sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy Dad's Star Trek and the Jack Russell Ants. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the HMS Warmington. We've been tasked with exploring strange new worlds, to keep an eye out for new life and new civilizations, and to help the Virgin with next month's Boy Scout Jamboree. To slowly go, where no home guard has gone before.
Excuse me, sir, but I couldn't help noticing that you have a split infinitive.
Oh, have I? Is a new one this morning?
Ha ha ha. No, sir. I mean, you said to slowly go, when the correct grammar is to go slowly.
Now listen here, Wilson. We're about to embark on the greatest adventure of our lives, so I don't want to hear any more of this petty point scoring. It's good enough for Roddenberry, it's good enough for me.
Well, really, I was only saying that to be grammatically correct.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Wilson, will you tell the men to fall in?
Right, everyone. If you wouldn't mind falling in, please. That's it. Try and keep in a straight row. Yes, very good. All fallen in, sir.
Good. Right, men.
Excuse me, sir, but we're not all men. There is Mrs. Fox and my mum as well.
The boy's right, we are a multi-gender crew.
Oh, get you, multi-gender crew. Did you learn that on your Understanding Diversity course, Taffy?
That's enough. Right, crew. As you know, we have been specially chosen to serve on this new vessel, HMS Warmington.
Permission to speak, sir.
What is it, Jones?
What does the S stand for in HMS, as we're not strictly a ship?
Well spotted, Jones. It means starship.
In that case, it should be HMSS.
He does have a point, sir.
Nonsense. HMSS makes it sound like it's a Nazi ship.
Is starship hyphenated? If so, then one S would be sufficient.
Actually, it should be TMS, Their Majesty's Starship, as we should only be using gender-neutral pronouns.
Blimey, Taffy, you certainly got your money's worth on that course.
That's quite enough, you two. Wilson, take their names.
What, Fraser and Walker?
Yes.
It's Fraser and Walker.
Well, I know that. I've taken out of their names, and you can deal with them after the parade.
Well, why didn't you say that? Fraser, what is your name?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Just speak to them when we're finished. Right. I know this is new territory for us all, but I need to allocate specific duties whilst you're on this voyage. I, of course, will be captain, and Sergeant Wilson would be my number one.
Is this going to take long, sir, as I need to be excused?
Stay where you are, Godfrey. This is of the utmost importance. Well, we may as well start with you, Godfrey. You'll be the vessel's medic.
Oh, that is good. My sister Dolly packed my first aid bag for me, so I have plenty of plasters and bandages and a new tube of Savlon.
Well, we may need a few other items and plasters if we get into a fight with some nasty foreign aliens.
Oh dear, do you think so? I'd better start reading my St. John's ambulance manual. Do you still need me, or can I be excused?
Well, you might as well go and find the sick bay and familiarise yourself with the surroundings. Right, next, Fraser. You will be the chief engineer.
Oh, Captain Mannering, I wanted to be the engineer. I'm very good with my hands. Only the other day I put the chain back on my bike and I mended a puncture.
Being able to mend a bike is no help when faced with a warped driving bits.
Oh, and what's your experience with warp drives?
I used to maintain my 1936 Humber Pullman, which was no mean feat.
Besides, Fraser's Scottish, so he has to be the engineer. It's a sort of tradition.
Uncle Arthur, that's not fair. You said I could be the engineer. You wait till I tell Mum about it.
Do be quiet, Frank. I'm sure that Captain Mannering has something for you.
As a matter of fact, I do. Pike, I want you to be helmsman. It's an important job. Do you think you're up to it?
Oh, yes, sir. I have my provisional licence and been out several times with Uncle Arthur. Sergeant Wilson. I won't let you down, sir.
Good man. See that you don't. Now, Corporal Jones, I want you to be head of security.
Oh, thank you, sir. I won't let you down either, sir. I'll protect you with my life. If anyone tries it on, I'll throw myself prostrate in front of you. And if that doesn't work, I'll give them a dose of the old cold steel, as they don't like it up 'em, you see, sir. They don't like it at all.
Excellent, Jones. I know I could count on you. Now, Walker, I have 2 roles for you. One will be science officer, and the other is procurement.
Thank you, sir. The trouble is I know nothing about science and no idea what procurement is.
Procurement is all about getting stuff. That will be right up your street, I would say.
Exactly. And the science bits, well, you'll soon pick up. Can't be that hard. Right. Now that we all know our duties, we can get to work.
Excuse me, Captain, but what about Mrs. Fox and my mum? What are they going to do?
The lad has a point. There has to be equal gender opportunities.
Well done, Pike. I was waiting to see who would spot that. Mrs. Fox, what are your strengths?
I am very good at knitting and sewing. I even do a talk at the WI.
Mrs. Fox made me a lovely cushion, sir. Very plump and cuddly it was, sir.
Bit like Mrs. Fox then.
I heard that, Walker. That's very disrespectful to Mrs. Fox, that is.
Yes, that'll do, Walker. Well, Mrs. Fox, there isn't a lot of call for knitting on board, but your ability to talk may come in handy. So I should put you in charge of communications. You will find your station over there.
Is it like a switchboard? I used to be on the switchboard when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, something like that. I believe there is a device you stick in your ear, but I'm not sure. I mean, you'll pick it up. That just leaves Mrs. Pike. Now, what are you good at?
You better ask Sergeant Wilson about that.
Walker, enough of your insubordination. If I have to tell you again, you'll be on a charge.
Well, being a mother is a full-time job.
Mavis, tell the captain what qualifications you have.
Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I did get a master's in bioengineering and a PhD in quantum physics.
And she makes a lovely apple crumble.
Ah, that's very impressive. You can be in charge of the catering. I love an apple crumble.
Sir, I am not sure you heard correctly. Mavis has a master's in bioengineering.
Not now, Arthur. It's okay. I'm happy to do my bit. At least I can make sure you and Frank eat properly.
Right, well that's all sorted. So, to your stations, everyone, and prepare to leave.
Sir, do you think we should get a status report from each person?
Yes, good idea, Wilson. You get on with that, and I will going to sit on the big chair and get it adjusted to my satisfaction.
Yes, okay, sir. I'll start with Godfrey. Can you hear me, Godfrey?
Pardon?
Godfrey, can I have your status report, please?
Yes, of course. Well, I have just been, but I may need to go again soon.
That's all very good, but I mean, is your medical department ready?
Yes, no problems here.
Excellent. Fraser, can I have your status report, please?
The engine is purring like a kitten. I have adjusted the tappets and given it 2 shots of Red X, and we're ready to go when you are.
Super. Jolly well done. Walker, can I have your status report, please?
Well, the science bit's fine, but on the procurement side, I'm having trouble shifting these last pair of nylons. Here, Captain Mannering, I don't suppose your wife is on the lookout for nylons?
I'm afraid not. She can't wear them. She says they pull on the hairs on her legs.
Oh well, worth a try. Maybe I can shift them on our travels.
That only leaves you, Jones. Can I have your status report, please?
Yes, sir. Here is my status report on the status of my status. I have been right round the ship and checked all the outside doors and windows and made sure that they are locked. No one will be able to get in and suck.
Can you hear a knocking?
Yes, it's a sort of tap, tap, tapping. What do you think it is?
Jones, your security, go and investigate.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. I will investigate the tapping, and if it is an intruder tapping to get in, I'll repel him. Then I'll pin him down and ask why he was tapping. And if he can't give me a reason why he was tapping, I'll give him a good old...
Yes, we get the idea. Just go and check, will you?
Sir, you don't think that we will have to put up with all this continual noise on the bridge, do you?
What noise?
All this whirring and pinging, and even the doors whooshing when they open and close. It really is intolerable, and it's giving me one of my heads.
Don't be such a baby, Wilson. It's only the background sounds of a well-run vessel. You'll soon get used to it. Ah, look, here's Jones.
It was Private Pike tapping, sir.
Oh, don't start all that again. Pike, what does the meaning of this? Why were you outside?
It wasn't my fault. I just popped out to have a final look at Earth and somebody locked the door.
Were you out there without a scarf? What have I told you about keeping your neck warm? You will catch your death of cold.
Mrs. Pike, don't mollycoddle the boy. He is meant to be part of a crack team of pioneers, not some spoilt brat.
Spoiled brat? It's not you that has to rub Vic on his chest when he gets pneumonia and rub him down with a wet flannel to keep him cool.
Mavis, the captain is right. Just leave the boy alone.
Ugh.
Right, can we finally get going? Positions, everyone. Mrs. Fox, any last-minute communications from HQ?
Be right with you, Captain Mannering. I'm just finishing with Doris from the post office. Go on, Doris, you were saying that you weren't getting enough. I know the feeling. When I do get some, it's not very fulfilling. No, I know. I can be up and down all night long. My Brian, God rest his soul, always used to say that I needed something warm inside me. He never gave me one. No, not that. Cocoa. I had to get my own cocoa.
Mrs. Fox, I'd be grateful if you would only use communication system for official business. Not supposed to be used for your idle chitter-chatter.
Well, pardon me for trying to comfort an old friend who can't sleep. Sorry, I have to go, Doris. Mannering is getting all official. Yes, I know he is. Well, try a tot of gin before you go to bed. That'll help. Bye. Well, what did you want?
Have you heard anything from HQ?
There was something about a distress signal, but I was in the middle of talking to Sheila from the dry cleaners at the time, so I missed most of it.
Call them back now and find out what the message was, and let me know straight away. Right, well, we best be off. Pike, plot a course.
Where are we going?
Tell him, Wilson.
Me? I have no idea. I thought we were just sort of setting off into deep space to explore with no particular destination in mind.
Shall I just point the ship straight ahead and give it a bit of welly?
Sounds reasonable enough, but not too fast. You still only have your provisional license.
If I set it to warp 1, we go just over 180, it says.
180 miles per hour? That sounds a bit fast. But I suppose this is a wide space with not much about.
No, not 180 miles per hour. It's 180,000 miles per second.
I think that's the lowest setting, sir. At least we can get away quick if we run into any trouble.
Quite. Well, on my mark, warp 1 it is.
What's your mark?
Well, I'm not too sure. Wilson, have you any ideas?
Well, as it's a sort of ship, so maybe cast off or full ahead both?
Nah, that don't sound right. What about something like full steam ahead or we're off?
We're off? Doesn't sound very commanding.
Maybe it should be in Latin.
That's typical of your public schoolboy thinking, Wilson.
I know, sir. What about on your marks, get set, go?
It's not the 100 yards dash, Jones. No, I'm just going to say advance. Are you ready, Pike?
Yes, sir.
Advance!
I can't feel any movement, sir.
Perhaps he stalled it.
No, I haven't. We are now at warp 1. It's just very smooth.
Well done, Pike. Now, keep it steady on this course. Fraser, anything to report from the engine room?
Nay bother here, sir. Engine is running as sweet as a nut.
Good. Right, let's just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Oh, Captain Mannering?
Yes, what is it, Mrs. Fox?
I heard back from HQ about the distress signal. Apparently it's very weak and from somewhere in Sector 5.
Walker, any idea where that is?
between Sector 4 and Sector 6?
Well, that's not very helpful.
I've had a look at the data, Captain. I've triangulated the probable coordinates of the origin and passed them on to Frank. Cup of tea?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Pike. Any chance of a biscuit?
Well done, Mavis. I am sure Captain Mannering is very grateful.
Yes, of course, yeah. Perfectly brewed.
"5 minutes until we reach our destination. It looks like a small, uninhabited planet on the edge of the Sirius solar system." Well, that's what Mum says.
Shall we organise a team to go down and investigate, sir?
Yes, good idea, Wilson. Assemble them in the transporter bay. I'll meet them there.
Can you all please form a line ready for inspection?
Well done, Wilson. Smart turnout. Right, men. You've all been specially chosen for this important task. Godfrey, you will of course be our medic. Are you ready for the challenge?
Oh yes, sir. I have 2 packs of plasters and some TCP, just in case.
Good man. Walker, as our scientific expert, you'll be expected to advise us on what we may find on the new planet. And Jones, as our head of security, you will protect the team.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You can rely on me, sir.
What about me, sir? What do you need me for?
I want you to help Jones with security.
Oh, good. Does that mean I'll get a gun?
You'll get a phaser, Pike, but set to stun.
Oh, can't I have a machine gun, Uncle Arthur?
That's enough, Pike. And what is that round your neck?
It's my scarf, sir. Mum says it may be chilly down there and I have to keep my neck warm.
We'll take it off at once. It's not part of the issued uniform. It looks ridiculous.
All right, but don't blame me if I get cold.
That's enough, Frank. Right, sir. I think we best be off.
Okay. Right, everyone. Get ready to beam down.
Do you think I can be excused? The transporter process really plays havoc with my bladder.
Yes, sir. I get the same. Your body goes all wiggly-woggly and vanishes from here and goes all woggly-wiggly before it appears where we are going.
It only takes a moment and then it's all over. Look, there's no time to lose. We need to discover what's making that distress signal. Fraser, put us down 50 yards from the signal source.
Aye, aye, sir. Here we go.
Oh, I feel all discombobulated, sir. My wiggle has been well and truly woggled.
The signal source is just over that rise. Pike and Jones, go and reconnoitre the area and report back.
I've just been checking in the Space Atlas and it says that this planet revolves slower than Earth, so a day is 5 times longer.
Does it say anything about what life is here?
Well, it says that there are insects which only seem to come out at night, but no intelligent life like ours.
Few insects, nothing to worry about. Besides, we should be finished before long.
Sir, it looks like there is someone behind a rock, holding what looks like a bicycle wheel and handlebars.
Are they doing anything?
Just rocking backwards and forwards and saying something like, "Ruddy hooligans."
That's odd. Right, well, let's approach cautiously. Draw your weapons, but only fire at my command.
Look, there they are, sir. They look vaguely familiar. I have a clear shot, sir. Shall I take them out?
Stupid boy, you'll do no such thing. This isn't a gangster movie, you know.
Maybe I should walk up to them all nonchalantly like and ask them if they sent a distress signal.
That could be dangerous. We don't know if they're armed. Let's just observe and see where they get up to.
Sir, may I be excused? All this excitement has got to me.
Okay, but be quick. And don't be seen or heard.
Yes, sir. I'll be as quiet as a mouse. Ah!
Look, sir. It's Private Godfrey. He slipped and rolled down the hill and he's landed right next to that person.
I am most frightfully sorry. Oh, good Lord. Mr. Hodges, it's you. Do you mind if I'm excused? I'm rather desperate.
Blimey, Godfrey, what are you doing here? Is Napoleon and the rest of his shambles with you?
Yes, up there.
Oi, Napoleon, this is probably the one and only time I'm glad to see you.
Heavens, sir. That appears to be Mr. Hodges.
What the devil is he doing here?
I might have an idea.
Hodges, is that you?
Of course it's me, you raving idiot. Now get me out of here.
Hodges, how did you get here? And is it your distress signal we picked up?
How did I get here? You need to ask that crook Walker.
How could Walker possibly be involved in this?
He sold me a dodgy transporter. I only wanted something so that I can visit my sister at Eastbourne easily. And then I ended up here.
Well, you can't blame me for that. It was working perfectly when I sold it to you. You must have broken it somehow and shot yourself down a wormhole.
I'll give you a ruddy wormhole. I'm not to blame. It was 40 goods. I only used it once with my bike. There's a big puff of smoke, and I ended up here with just front wheel of my handlebars.
Well, you was lucky that the handlebars had the distress beacon on them. If it had been your back wheels that had only come through, you would have been lost forever.
Lucky? I'm going to sue you, Walker. Just you wait.
Do you want me to blast him, sir?
No, I'm sure we can sort this all out. Wilson, can you contact Fraser and ask him to beam us all up?
Certainly, sir. Fraser, do you mind awfully if you beam us all up now?
We may have a wee problem there, sir.
Problem? What problem?
Well, you see, I was just giving the engines a wee service to make sure they are in tip-top condition, and now we're having problems getting it back together again. There appears to be several bits left over.
Well, when will you get it up and running again?
Oh, it could be some time. We also seem to have a power drain somewhere, and the emergency batteries are running low. If they run down completely, then we'll have no life support, and we'll be doomed. Doomed, do you hear?
You don't panic! Don't panic! We may be stuck down here forever! I don't want to be stuck down here, sir. I really don't, sir.
Pull yourself together, Jones. Fraser, now listen to me. Search the ship for that power drain. It is imperative that you preserve the batteries. And if I remember correctly, there is a Haynes manual of the ship in the library. Send someone to fetch it and start working on that engine.
Aye, aye, sir.
Does that mean you blithering idiots aren't able to rescue me?
You don't behave yourself, we may not want to.
Now listen to me. It's all your fault that...
No, this is not helping anyone. Now, Hodges, how long have you been here?
Well, by my watch, it's nearly 5 days, but it's been light the whole time.
Oh dear. That means it will be dark for 5 days now. I'm not too keen on the dark, sir. My sister Dolly always keeps a nightlight in the hall, so I don't get too anxious.
Hopefully Fraser will have things up and running by then, but it may be an idea to gather some firewood just in case.
Good idea, Wilson. I was wondering who would be the first to suggest that. Now, everyone, scout around and bring back anything we could burn.
Sir, I was looking for wood and I found an ant.
An ant? So?
Well, it was no ordinary ant.
Well, why not?
It didn't look like an ant.
Well, how did you know it was an ant?
Well, when I say it didn't look like an ant, it did look like an ant, but it was bigger.
Bigger? Explain yourself.
Well, it was the size of a Jack Russell.
Good Lord, is it dead?
I poked it with a stick and it didn't move. Come and have a look.
Oh, you're right, it's dead. Well, I'm not sure it's an ant. At least, not what we have on Earth.
Look at those nasty claws and those fangs.
And it has big eyes, which means it probably comes out in the dark, just like Walker told us about.
Comes out in the dark? It's getting dark there soon, sir, and that means we may be overrun by Jack Russell ants.
Quite right. Let's prepare by getting that fire lit.
Sir, it's definitely getting darker. The suns are going down.
You know what? Come to think of it, I did hear something scuttle about in the dark shadows.
The only sentence I like that has the word scuttle and dark in is if it's about coal. I don't like the sound of this.
Come on, everyone, chop chop. It will soon be dark and we must get as much firewood as possible.
I will talk to Fraser and see if he's fixed the engine yet. Fraser, are you there?
Aye, aye, sir. Receiving you loud and clear.
Are you nearly finished with the repair?
Well, sir, there is good news and bad, sir. The good news is that we've found what was draining the batteries.
Good. And what was it?
Well, at first we thought it was the dryers in the laundry room. Sergeant Wilson was drying a king-size duvet, and it was taking ages.
Well, it had to be cleaned, sir. There is nothing worse than sleeping under a dirty duvet.
You could have endangered the whole operation with your selfish, fussy ways.
If I could just say that it wasn't the duvet, we finally tracked the excessive power consumption to an electric blanket on Private Godfrey's bed.
I feared it would get rather chilly in space, and I thought an electric blanket would keep me warm.
No, I find it difficult to believe that an electric blanket could cripple the ship. Are you sure, Fraser?
Aye, as sure as sure. As soon as we unplugged it, the batteries stopped being drained.
Where on earth did you get that blanket, Godfrey?
Walker managed to get hold of it for me. It was quite expensive, but he said it was top of the range.
Walker? Well, I might have known. Now, where is Walker?
He is out collecting firewood.
Right. I'll deal with him later. Now, Fraser, what is the bad news?
Well, sir, we were just putting back the leftover bits of the engine, and I decided to give the dilithium crystal a bit of a clean, so I gave it a wee scrub with a wire brush, and well, it sort of crumbled in my hands.
With no dilithium crystal, we don't have no engine, sir, and we'll be stuck down here with the Jack Russell ants and their big fangs and claws.
Now pull yourself together, Frank. I am sure Captain Mannering will be able to sort this out.
Don't we have a spare, Fraser?
Not that we can see, sir. We're searching now.
Well, hurry up and find one. Let me know straight away. It's nearly dark here now. Wilson, get the men to gather round. We need a plan of action.
Right. Will everyone please gather round? There's good fellows. Quick as you can.
Now, I don't have to tell you, men, that we're in a serious situation. Our first priority is to keep these ant creatures from getting to us.
Permission to speak, sir.
Yes, what is it, Jones?
What if we dig a deep ditch all around us and fill it with oil and set it on fire, then the Russell ants won't be able to get to us?
That's a daft idea, you old fool. It's nearly dark now. How are we going to dig a ditch with no tools and fill it with oil we haven't got?
Don't call me an old fool. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this mess. At least I'm coming up with ideas.
Enough, you two. Jones, I'm afraid Hodges is right. We've no time to dig, nor do we have any oil. The only way is to put a small ring of fires around our perimeter, and for us to stay in the middle. We don't know yet if the ants will be interested in this anyway.
Will we be able to use phasers, sir? I'm not sure how much charge we have left in them.
If they do break through, well then yes, we'll have to use them.
I'm not sure I could actually kill anything, sir. Maybe I could be useful in some other capacity.
You could keep the fires stoked up, Godfrey. Just don't get caught in the crossfire.
Good idea, Jones.
Sir, if we get overrun with Russell ants, I don't want to be torn to pieces by their vicious fangs and claws.
Maybe we should keep a bit of phaser charge in reserve, sir, you know, for each other.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Sir, I will volunteer to be the last man standing. I will do the deed and then kill as many of the Jane Russell ants as I can. I'll have my bayonet on my phaser and I'll give them the old cold steel. They won't like it up 'em, sir. They don't like it up 'em at all.
Good man, Jones. That's the sort of fighting spirit I expect from a seasoned Tommy like you.
It's getting rather dark now, sir, and I think I can hear the pitter-patter of thousands of legs.
Right, positions, men. Each get near a fire, and on my command, light it. Right. After 3, light the fires. 1, 2, 3, light.
Have you got a match, sir?
Ah, no. Has anyone got any matches?
No.
We could rub 2 sticks together.
That will take ages. Walker, you must have a cigarette lighter.
Nah, I gave it up years ago. Here, why don't we give it a quick blast of the phaser?
Well done, Walker. Right, men. Quick blast, that's all. We must conserve power.
But the fires are getting going now, sir. Godfrey, you can keep loading them up.
Oi, Napoleon, you going to give me a phaser?
Godfrey, give him your one if you're not using it.
Yes, sir. But I'm not sure how long it will last. I haven't plugged it in for ages.
Well, if it runs out, we can always club them to death.
We are surrounded, sir. I can see hundreds of them just beyond the firelight.
Permission to give them a blast, sir.
Okay, men, fire at will. Let's see how they react.
Well, they just seem to explode and then they're replaced by more of them.
When I shoot one, it disapes itself and gets back again.
Is your phaser still on stun?
Oh yeah, silly me. That's better. Now they're not getting up.
Sir, there are simply hundreds of them. We are never going to last 5 days.
It looks like they won't cross the fire circle. So keep them stoked up, Godfrey.
I'm doing my best, sir. But we are running low on wood. It's burning awfully quickly.
Let's try and drag the fires into a smaller circle. We won't need to have so many then.
Sir, I think we're going to run out of wood soon. What else can we burn?
Wilson, if you run out of wood, the only thing left to burn is our uniforms. That may give Fraser long enough to find the crystal.
Yes, sir. Shall I tell the men to take off their clothes in preparation?
Yes, and I will call Fraser.
Listen up, men. You need to take off your uniforms so that we can burn them when we run out of wood.
Oh, what about our undergarments, sir?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Jones, leave them on. We're not savages, you know.
Fraser, have you found a replacement dilithium crystal yet?
We've searched everywhere and there's no sign.
Oh, can't you glue the old one?
Apparently not, sir. Mrs. Pike said something about the intrinsic internal matrix structure being compromised.
It's imperative you find that dilithium crystal, Fraser. We can't hold on for much longer.
Sir, they're closing in. The fires are going out. Shall I fix bayonets?
Fraser, you must do something.
Did I hear you say you needed a dilithium crystal?
Were you eavesdropping, Walker? Well, it's very bad form.
Oh, well, sorry. I just thought you would have liked to know that I have one.
Well, sorry's not good enough. If it wasn't for your dodgy dealings, we wouldn't be in this predicament. Did you say you had a crystal?
Yeah, I've got a couple in stock.
Well, why didn't you say, man? Where are they?
Well, you didn't ask. They're in the back of my sock drawer in my cabin.
Fraser, did you hear that?
Aye, sir. On my way to his cabin now.
This ruddy Fraser's nearly out of juice, and these blasted ants are getting closer. Do something, Mannering.
Sir, I think we may have to put our vests on the fire as well. The uniforms have nearly all burnt.
Okay. Vests off, men.
I told you I should have worn that scarf. That would have kept the fires going a bit longer.
The vests won't last long, sir. We will have to sacrifice our modesty and burn our underpants.
I'm not sure I'm very keen on that idea, sir. I'm a very private person, I am. I even keep my underpants on when I'm at the bar.
Really, how frightful. Look, we are all trapped together. It's just like running around the changing rooms at school or being inspected by the housemaster.
Well, have none of your public school shenanigans here, Wilson. This is life or death.
I'd rather not be inspected, sir. I fear I may come up short.
Nobody's going to be inspected. Everyone is going to do this at the same time. Right, men? On my command, grab the waistband of your underpants like so. Then, in one swift action, bring the waistband to your ankles, thus removing your underpants. Okay? On my command, remove underpants. Remove underpants.
Grab 2, 3. Down 2, 3.
I knew there was 2 suns on this planet, but I didn't know it had so many moons.
Oh, I say. See, Arthur, I told you I had nothing to worry about.
Looks like we were just in time.
Yeah, a few seconds later, and Jones was going to stick us with his bayonet.
Well done, men. We got out by the skin of our teeth.
Well, you'll have to thank Mrs. Pike, sir. She put the engine back together and fitted the crystal.
Yes, well, thank you, Mrs. Pike. In view of your contribution, I think it would be fitting for you to take the scientific officer role from Walker. He clearly has no idea.
None taken.
Oh, thank you, Captain Mannering. I won't let you down.
Excellent. Of course, you'll have to combine it with your catering role. We don't want to miss out on that apple crumble, do we?
Now we're all back on board, are you taking me back to Earth?
Oh, no. We're on a mission to explore new worlds. We're not going back to Earth for months.
What? You can't do that, you ruddy hooligans!
We can and we will, and there is nothing you can do about it.
You wait, I'm going to complain to the authorities about this. Ah!
Pull your pants up, man. You're making a right fool of yourself. Come along, chaps. I think we all deserve a nice cup of tea and a piece of apple crumble. That should keep us going till our next adventure.
You think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done.
Captain Mannering was played by Andrew Bates. Sergeant Wilson was Craig Bunce, and Corporal Jones was Dennis Manning. Private Godfrey was Patrick Casey, and Roger Kidd was Private Fraser. Jonathan Hope was Private Walker, and Andy Page was Private Pike. Suzanne Page was Mrs. Pike, and Lauren Smith was Mrs. Fox, and Hodges was played by Robin Christian. Sound was by Damon Lingars, the producer was Andy Page, and the play was written and directed by Andrew Bates. This has been a Manor Theatre Group production.